Even if you doubt this technique, you will still manifest whatever it is that you desire. Now I'm going to share and talk about this technique that you can learn and let you know that even if you are doubting it will work, or even if you are doubting that manifestation is real, this will still work regardless. And the reason for this is, even though you may have doubt or you may not believe something, it doesn't take away the fact that we are always constantly manifesting. Even if we don't realize it, we're manifesting things all the time. Most of the time, usually by a default set of programs. We're just manifesting stuff unconsciously, but the manifestation process still works regardless whether we believe it or not. And so with that being said, just before I go into the technique, I just want to quickly speak about doubt, because there is a lot of teachings out there, and there's a lot of things that are said that if you doubt, then you actually block your manifestation from happening. You have to be all in it or nothing. And whilst I understand the intent behind that, and obviously if we didn't have doubt and we fully believed that what we want to manifest is already true and is already real, then of course that is going to make the manifestation process a whole lot smoother and quicker. But having even a small element of doubt still will not prevent you from manifesting what you desire. It is okay to still have some doubt. And I think it's important to know this, because we can put too much pressure on ourselves with regarding how we feel and what we believe. And if we recognize that there might be a bit of doubt, we might feel that we have to remove all doubt and all fear and just be completely in the now, in the moment, like it's already happened. When of course, sometimes that's just not possible, depending on the programming that we are still carrying around and any unconscious habit patterns that we have. So the first principle is we can relax a bit. We don't have to be perfectionists when it comes to this. It's very important not to be perfectionists. So with doubt, it is okay to still have some of that, because whenever you learn something new, like when you're learning to ride a bike, when you're learning to drive your car, learn a new technique or learn a new job, you might doubt your abilities first of all, because it's something new. You're not good at it. It feels alien to you. You don't know how you're going to develop those skills. But what is the one thing that you do in all of these situations that you keep repeating, that you keep doing? What's the one principle that makes you learn something, for it to become a skill, and then for you to develop a feeling? That is repetition. The more you say something, the more you do something, the more you apply it, the better you get, the more skillful you get, and the more of a stronger feeling of confidence that you have in your abilities and what you can do. So it's the same with manifesting and what we believe. So for example, when we first say an affirmation, when we want to change something in our life, when we first say a new affirmation, it's going to sound very alien to you. It's not going to sound natural. It's not going to sound what the narrative in your mind has been saying all these years. If you've been saying a lot of things that you are not good enough and everything's rooted in fear and you're not worthy, it's going to feel very strange if you start saying that I love and approve of myself. I am so worthy of everything that I want, and I do matter. Although these are positive statements, it doesn't feel natural, and you may have some doubt that it's true, or may doubt that you feel it. But that's okay, because if you keep saying it, keep doing it, keep affirming it, the repetition is going to become more natural for you. And another key aspect of this with the repetition, it's one of the very few ways that you can reprogram your subconscious mind. To gain access to your subconscious mind, which is the place where you hold all of your beliefs, good or bad, it's where everything is run from. It's what rules the show. And we want to change the subconscious beliefs that are holding us back, and we want them to be replaced with fulfilling programs, fulfilling habits and goals. And the way to do that, one of the few ways to do that, is to repeat the same thing over and over again. And the more times you do this, the more you create a belief. So this technique is very simple. Repeating affirmations as many times as you can per day, even if it seems very robotic. This can also be known as robotic affirmations, where you just feel like you're doing the mechanics of it. But that's perfect, because it's the same as when you're learning to drive or learning a new exercise routine or whatever it is that you're doing. You're doing the mechanics. It's after you've learned the mechanics you can put in more of the feeling, and that's when everything becomes amplified. So repeating something as many times as you can is what will create a belief. If you keep saying, I love and approve of myself, I love and approve of myself, several times a day, consistently every single day, eventually, even though you might not feel it and you might not fully believe it, it's going to sink into the subconscious, just like all the other habits that you have learned throughout your life. And once that's sinked in and then become a belief, through the act of repetition and reprogramming your subconscious, that is when the feeling is going to start to come up. It's going to feel more familiar. You're going to start believing it. And that is when you are really going to see significant results, because, of course, it's the feeling that makes the biggest difference. But, of course, you have to start somewhere. And the best place to start is to choose certain affirmations that are relevant and resonate for you on what it is that you want to manifest. Regardless if you believe them, if you already have an element of belief and feeling of them where you feel it's already true, then great, tap into that. But if you don't, then just keep mechanically saying them as many times as you can. Acknowledge that you might have some doubt, but don't let it hold you back. As long as you have the willingness to let go of that doubt and be open-minded, the universe will still work out the details for you. So this is what I would like you to do. Take your affirmations. There may be some affirmations that you are already using, or that you've tried to use and you maybe have fallen off the bandwagon a little bit. You've not been as consistent. But take whatever affirmations are relevant for you. Or, as an example, you can say something like this: I am in alignment with my higher self and my greatest good. I love and approve of myself. I am in touch with my specific person, and we have the most wonderful relationships. Money is constantly flowing towards me. I know and value my self-worth. Those are just some examples. Point being, take whatever affirmation is relevant to the goal that you want to manifest and repeat them at least 20 times per day. What will be even better is to look at them like sets and repetitions, as if you were going to a gym. Think of the affirmations as each time you say an affirmation as the reps. If you do a block of 20, that's one set. So at least do one set of 20 reps of affirmations per day. But remember, the more times that you can say your affirmations, the quicker the results, the more effective the results will be. So if you can break it up and do 3 sets of 20 reps per day, for example, that would be even better. But I'm sure you understand the point and the principle behind that. And if you consistently do that, it's very likely that you will begin to see some results pretty soon. If you keep doing this consistently for a week, you may see significant changes, whether in the circumstances around you or how you begin to feel. You will at least certainly begin to get affirmation, what I call affirmation memory, which is where you start to memorize the affirmations, they start to feel more familiar, and you notice you start saying them automatically. Once you start noticing that you're saying an affirmation automatically, then you know it's registered in the subconscious. It becomes more effortless to think it. And then that is now beginning to form the new narrative. I hope you can see that. The new narrative, the inner talk that we have that we don't always have conscious control over, it just happens. If that is now starting to become our positive affirmations, then the whole inner dialogue, the whole inner story that we're telling ourselves is much more positive. And of course, that is then going to affect the energy that we're putting out into the universe. And of course, that's then going to influence the experiences that we receive. I hope this video has been very helpful and it makes sense. Do leave a comment down below if there's any questions that you have, or share any experiences that you've been able to receive from doing these affirmations. And if you'd like to take it to the next step of using more manifestation techniques to start bringing your goals into reality, check out this video up here and it'll go through all the techniques that you need to know. Love and light.